There is no doubt in my mind that Longines has some incredible releases this year, but the star of the show, to me at least, was the Zulu Time. And you guys have been requesting it like mad, and luckily enough, it's here. I have to say, I was really excited when I had this on my desk this morning because, one, I'm a big fan of Longines. Two, it has so much history behind it, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But three, it's a really interesting design from Longines. There's lots to talk about. Welcome back to Time in the Wrist at Chisholm Hunter. My name is Harrison, as always, and today, well, we have quite a few watches, but in particular, we have the Longines Spirit Zulu. I've been really excited for this one for a while. It's quite an interesting model. Let's begin with the history, because the history is quite interesting, and then we'll move on to the specs, the dial, the detail, and all that good stuff. The Longines Spirit Zulu gets its name from Longines' first ever dual time zone watch, which was manufactured in 1925. This watch had the Zulu flag on its dial, which was in turn a reference to the letter Z, which is called Zulu in international radio communications. Why Z, you ask? Well, Z is short for Zero Time, which is another name for Greenwich Main Time, GMT. Over time, pilots in the military have taken to calling GMT Zulu Time, so the name is pretty perfect for this model. Now that we have touched a little bit on the history, let's get into the specs of this model, starting with the case diameter, which comes in at 42 millimeters. Now, case diameter is kind of a weird one in the watch industry. A lot of people look at the case diameter and judge a watch on the case diameter solely, but there's so many different factors that affect the way the watch looks. So for an example, this one wears a lot bigger because the bezel is that little bit slimmer. And when the bezel is that little bit slimmer, it makes the face look bigger. The sort of moral to the story is don't judge a book by its cover on just the case diameter. I'd try it on. The lug width on this bad boy comes in at 22 millimeters, and the case thickness, I believe, according to Longines' website, comes in at 13.9, but let's just double check, because you can never trust a website, can you? It's 13.9, Longines, you're right. By the way, I know that I just said lug width was 22, but it's actually the lug distance. I made a boo-boo, sorry. We have talked quickly about these specs. Now let's move on to the case and the bracelet. So the case and the bracelet come in stainless steel. Now, I've spoken quite a lot about stainless steel and how it's probably my favorite metal out of all of them, but let me just go over why it's my favorite metal. So, stainless steel remains quite heavy and durable. Now, I know that titanium is a little bit more durable, but it's also a little bit too lightweight for me. And then you get to gold. And gold's nice. Everybody likes gold. Everybody likes to flash a little bit, but it's a little bit softer. And in my lifestyle, I need that durability, so I come back to steel. The case has a mix of polished and brushed steel, and the polished on the case side just here actually makes it look that little bit more elegant, and it gives the impression that it kind of wraps around your wrist a little bit longer. It kind of looks like it's curving downwards, it's a really nice touch. Then we get to the bracelet. The bracelet is also a combination of brushed and polished. It kind of has two links down the sides here that are polished, and then the brushed on either side with a brush link down the middle. The reason that I got slow when I said that there is because I was thinking about the use that I would get out of this watch. And to me, polished steel doesn't really work. And the reason it doesn't work is because I would scratch it. That is why I wear my Amiga with a NATO strap instead of the bracelet, is because I would scratch that polished steel. But the interesting thing that Longines have done here is the polished steel running down each side is almost lowered into the brushed. So it's not the first thing that would have contact with whatever you were to hit or scratch it on, which is quite interesting. The clasp on this model actually has the Longines logo just engraved right here, which is also nice because it's lowered so it won't scratch as much. And the clasp itself is a deployant clasp. The crown on this model is actually quite an interesting one, and the reason that it's interesting is it's almost shaped like an hourglass. It kind of leans in towards the bottom of the crown. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I think it's that little bit too prominent for me. It's not a negative, but just for me, I prefer slightly stubbier crowns. But then again, it does kind of feed into the elegance aspect of Longines, and then obviously there's the Longines hourglass, so it kind of looks like a Longines hourglass. So I can understand why they've done this, but the crown, I would prefer it to be that little bit smaller. The crown is actually a screw down crown, and this allows a water resistance of 100 meters. And let's get this in the scales and see how much it weighs. So putting this on the scales at the moment, it comes in at 165 grams. Now what normally happens in this situation is I take off my Amiga and I put on my Amiga, but as you can see beside me, we have lots of other watches. So let's put a Big Pilot in the scale and see how that fits. So the IWC Big Pilot, bearing in mind this is just the Big Pilot on the leather strap and not the bracelet, comes in at 116 grams. Now I know that these guys aren't comparable, but the reason that we do this is because a lot of the watches that we review might not be released yet, and you might have been hands-on with that piece before, so it gives you a gauge. Right, now that we've covered the weight, let's move on to the bezel and the dial, which are by far some of the most attractive features on this watch. The dial itself has so much depth to it. It almost has 3 layers, and we'll cover that in a second, but let's begin with the bezel. Let's begin with the bezel on this piece. The bezel is actually quite attractive. Now, because it's a GMT watch, it has the 24-hour marks on the bezel. So it goes 2, 4, 6, 8, etc., etc. 2 times table. I'm not very good at maths, so I won't try it. At the 24-hour mark, it has a triangle. So instead of the 24-hour mark, it actually has a triangle, and there's little dots in between each marker. The dial, or the bezel itself, is actually a dark blue color, and it's more of a dark blue than the dial. So it has a really nice contrast there, and the white numerals stand out a lot more prominently on that bezel. One thing though that is different, and it's not a bad thing, it's just different, is the actual teeth on the bezel are quite prominent for a GMT. Now, if you think about diving watches, they need prominent teeth so that the divers can turn them. But GMTs don't really need that because they're not diving watches, so the fact it has prominent teeth in a way is nice, but in a way is a little bit different. It's easier to turn, but it's maybe not as stylized. And then we get to the best bit of pretty much every video we do actually, and we're gonna use our new mic for this, which I'm really excited about. So listen to the clicks on the bezel. Can you hear that? They're quite subtle, quite smooth, and normally on GMT models, they're not as prominent as divers. So for an example, here's my Amiga. You can hear that. So it's different, but it's a GMT. And on the note of new watches, we are actually at, as we are filming this video, 9,300 subscribers, which is absolutely incredible. And what I was gonna say is, when or if we hit 10,000 subscribers, I might be getting a new watch. I think we should celebrate, and I think that being a watch channel, a watch is the way to do it. I've actually hinted towards the watch that I'll buy in previous videos. I'm gonna tell you that it's green, that's all I'm gonna say. If you know, let me know in the comments, but there's definitely a watch that I'm looking at, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Moving quickly onto the dial. The dial comes in a sunray blue, which is pretty striking, especially when you move it in the light. It kind of changes the texture and the pattern of the sunray blue, which it gives a good contrast. I know that these watches also come in a green color, so one has a green bezel and a black face, or an anthracite face, and then you get one that's actually pure black. Now, in my opinion, the green is the best looking with that black dial, but I know that a lot of people will like the blue. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer. The dial itself is extremely clean with a date window just beautifully positioned at 6 o'clock. Because 6 o'clock date windows are the best date windows. 3 o'clock date windows don't belong at 3 o'clock, but 6 o'clock date windows, they do belong at 6 o'clock. Anyways, I'll move on. Rambling about a date window, Jesus. The markers are of course numerals, so it goes 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, so on and so forth. But the 6 o'clock marker has actually been replaced by that date window. Now, I don't actually mind this. I think it makes it look that little bit more symmetrical, as I've said before. The hands are highly polished and they stand out really nicely against that dark blue. But one thing I did notice when I first looked at this model is that above the numerals, just beside them, you'll be able to see a little rectangle, and it's almost like a diamond, and it's dipped into the dial. Now, I spoke about at the start how the dial has almost 3 layers of depth. This adds a layer of depth to me, and it's something that they didn't necessarily have to add, but it's a design technique or a design feature I really like it. The Longines logo is positioned comfortably below the 12 o'clock mark, as is the word automatic, because this watch is fully automatic. But below that, or above the 6 o'clock mark, or the date window, which has replaced the 6 o'clock mark, is firstly the iconic Longines Spirit stars. And again, these are raised, giving it an extra layer of depth. Then you have the logo of Zulu Time, which is actually in orange, which is a wonderful contrast to the blue. And then below that, you have a chronometer. Moving quickly onto the movement, but before we move on to the movement, just a quick reminder, Chisholm Hunter are actually authorized retailers for Longines watches, so if you want one of these bad boys, then click the link below. The movement in this model is of course fully automatic and is certified by COSC. It has a closed case back, so you can't see it through the case back. Let's get into some of the features of this movement though, because for the money, it's good. The movement in this model is the caliber L844.4. It's a self-winding mechanical movement beating at 25,200 vibrations per hour with a power reserve of 72 hours. It has hours, minutes, seconds and date functions and a 24-hour hand with a time zone mechanism. All of this comes in at £2,480, which is a pretty amazing price tag for a watch of this caliber. You know, I always really liked the Spirit collection. I loved the Longines Spirit. I've reviewed it a couple of times, but it didn't quite convert me. I wasn't quite taken with it. I really liked the Hydra Conquest, but I already had a sports diving watch, so you know, it didn't make sense to me at that time. But I don't have a GMT. And this is something new and innovative from Longines. I love the fact that they've used a splash of color. I love the fact that it's COSC certified. This is a nice piece. And that is all from me today. We're actually going to take some photography of these models and post them on the Chisholm Hunter Watches page, which is our new Instagram page, and Drew and I post whatever we get up to out with the studio on that page. It's mostly, of course, to do with watches, being watch nerds. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this episode of Time on the Wrist at Chisholm Hunter. My name's Harrison, as always, and make sure you hit this subscribe button. We're on our road to 10K, which is incredible, guys. So thank you, genuinely thank you so much. I'd really appreciate it. This subscribe button. See you soon.